He's fighting for his life. He's fighting for his life.
Now at 5, a teenager hospitalized in critical condition after a hit and run. The search for the driver who left him in the street.
Near 80 degrees today, and it will be a warm start to the weekend, but I've got big changes coming in your 7-day forecast.
Honoring an IMPD officer killed in the line of duty. The new memorial for Officer Breanne Leith. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Well, tonight, Metro Police are trying to find 2 drivers involved in separate hit and runs within just hours of each other. Good evening. I'm Felicia Lawrence.
And I'm Scott Swan, in tonight for Anne Marie. This first crash happened last night near 10th and Cumberland Road. This is where police say a driver hit a teen who was riding his bike, leaving him in critical condition.
The other happened this morning on Keystone and 25th Street. That's where police say a driver hit and killed a man before driving away. Our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick just spoke to the teen's family.
And tonight she shares their message for the driver responsible for this crash.
Family tells me 14-year-old Roberto Rivera is still here at Raleigh Hospital fighting for his life, and the driver who hit him still hasn't been caught. This was the scene late Thursday night. Cumberland Road lit up by police lights. Investigators say a group of teens were walking down the road and another riding a bike.
And a vehicle was southbound and struck the juvenile male on the bicycle, throwing him approximately 50 feet.
That juvenile, Roberto Rivera.
We need somebody to tell us anything. I don't care how small it is. We need someone to tell us something. He's a kid. He didn't deserve that.
His aunt saying her nephew was on fall break, heading home at the time. She says the worst part is the driver didn't bother to stop.
Stop. Just stop. Give somebody some help. It may be a different outcome if you stop.
You gotta stop. I mean, and you gotta pay attention. Right?
Kathy Mickle lives right where Roberto was hit and is now worried for her 2 sons, saying speeding is a constant problem.
To be a parent to think, oh, my kid's on fall break and they're hanging out with friends, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're going to the hospital and having to, yeah, it's horrible.
Now begging drivers to slow down and, more importantly, to stay at the scene. A plea Roberto's family shares, desperate to find the person responsible.
Turn yourself in. You know you hit a kid. Turn yourself in. What if it was your kid? What if it was your kid? Turn yourself in. Say something, please.
Again, police are asking anyone with information to reach out to detectives or Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostick, 13 News.
So as they look for the driver, police tell us that video would be really helpful in this particular case.
And they're asking neighbors to check their cameras. They're asking for you to look at your footage from around 10 o'clock last night, and maybe that can help.
And as we just mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, Metro Police also looking for the driver who's responsible for a deadly hit and run.
This crash happened just after 5 o'clock this morning on North Keystone Avenue, just north of East 25th Street. That's in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood.
Police closed Keystone for several hours as they investigated what happened. Officers have not yet shared any other details about that crash. Now, according to Indy Ped Crisis, we've had more than 100 hit and runs this year in our city, 18 of them fatal.
Again, police remind drivers to stay at the scene of the crash and call 911 for help. A Metro police officer already in trouble for child exploitation and child porn in Marion County is now facing federal charges. A federal grand jury indicted Javed Richards on several child porn charges. He faces 5 counts of distribution of child sex abuse material and 1 count of possession of child sex abuse material. He's currently scheduled to go on trial for the case in Marion County later this month.
Tonight at 5, IMPD is investigating a shooting which put a boy in the hospital. Officers found the victim near 20th and Hillside Avenue around 7:30 last night. However, they believe the shooting actually took place east of there near Rural and I-70. Right now, they're asking anyone who may have known what happened to please get in touch with them.
Tonight, a 13-year-old boy is charged with murder in Anderson. Police believe he killed and robbed a man with a knife from the man's kitchen.
Our Rich and I went to Madison County today to talk with the prosecutor about moving this case to adult court.
61-year-old Mark Miles apparently walked from his home on West 12th Street in Anderson just across the street to the gas station convenience store on the afternoon of October 3rd. Court records say Miles is shown on city flock cameras talking to a 13-year-old boy in the parking lot. The boy told police he was asking people for money, and Miles gave him $4. But the boy says he saw that Miles had a lot more cash in his wallet. The boy allegedly followed Miles home and got into his house. In court records, the boy admitted to stabbing Miles in the chest and stomach multiple times and robbing him of $500.
It's made even worse, again, when you have a juvenile that has been alleged to have committed that crime, and it's disheartening to see.
A judicial review will ultimately determine if the case can be moved to adult court. The boy has an initial hearing on those murder charges October 22nd. In Anderson, Rich Knight, 13 News.
The boy's mom turned him into police when she saw him with $500. The prosecutor's office is not aware of another defendant as young as 13 being charged with murder in Madison County.
Tonight, a 17-year-old is under arrest a few weeks after a shooting in Indianapolis. It happened back on September 26 near Madison Avenue and East Stop 11 Road. Investigators say they served a search warrant on a car yesterday where they found a stolen gun. They then found and arrested the 17-year-old. He's accused of attempted murder, robbery, and aggravated assault. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office will make the final decision about charges.
Hurricane Milton knocked out power to millions of homes and businesses all across Florida.
Now, some Hoosier help is on the way to get their electricity back up and running. 5 AES Indiana crews are expected to arrive in Tampa tonight.
Those teams will work 16-hour shifts before getting some rest on cots set up at Raymond James Stadium.
All right, we're keeping an eye on what's going down there because there have been so many rescue efforts, and of course we've been sending a lot of resources from Indiana to Florida.
And a lot of people still without electricity, right?
Almost 2 million still without power.
Wow.
If you focus on the Tampa area, and we have this highlighted kind of in this purple color, over 400,000 in and around Tampa without power right now. And then those darker red counties in and around Bradenton and Cape Coral, more than 100,000 without power. So Florida definitely needs the help to get that power restored. We had sunshine today, and as expected, a warmer afternoon. Most of us close to 80. We have 78 in Crawfordsville, 81 Bunker Hill, currently 80 Morris Reservoir, 80 in Noblesville, and 77 degrees in Greensburg. It's going to be a great night for Operation Football. Our game of the week, Center Grove and Lawrence North. Kickoff temperatures between 70 and 75 by the fourth quarter, drop into the 60s. If you're headed up to Notre Dame, Stanford in town, there will be the chance of a couple of showers for a 3:30 kickoff. Our Colts are in Nashville taking on the Titans. Near record warmth. Kickoff temperatures this weekend will be in the mid-80s. It's going to be a warm one for our Colts down in Tennessee.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. It has been nearly 4 years since IMPD officer Breanne Leath was killed in the line of duty while responding to a domestic disturbance call.
This past legislative session, Indiana lawmakers passed a resolution to honor Leath where a stretch of road on the east side of the city.
Our Emily Longnecker was there for that unveiling. Emily?
Well, this sign honoring fallen IMPD officer Breanne Leath went up today here at Davis Road and US 52. It marks one end of a memorial mile named in Leath's honor.
We think of her life, that it was cut short.
More than 4 years have passed since IMPD officer Breanne Leath was killed, but the impact she made in the Indianapolis community is still felt by the officers you see standing here. Dozens of them came out Friday to see the unveiling of signs to mark the officer Breanne Leath Memorial Mile. Leath's family, including her son Zane, were also there. State Representative Mitch Gore spearheaded the effort to honor Leath.
Bree was, by all accounts, the epitome of a true public servant, doing it for the right reasons.
Since the day that she was taken from us, I can honestly say that there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her and that I don't think about that day.
IMPD East District Commander Michael Leeper said the scars from the day Leath was killed would be with many of her fellow officers the rest of their lives.
If she was standing here today, her message to me would not be to cry for me or to say what I did.
Instead, Commander Leeper said Leath would want him to encourage the officers who are still here. Leath's mother, Jenny, who spoke briefly, had a message for them.
I just want the officers to know that I told Breanne, make your life count. Growing up, I've told the girls to make it matter. And I know that her sacrifice meant something. And stuff like this, it just backs that up.
Years from now, these signs will still be there for people to see and to know that Lee's legacy, her service, and her sacrifice should never be forgotten.
And later today, INDOT will put up a sign just like this one on the other end of this Memorial Mile at German Church Road. On the east side, Emily Longnooker, 13 News.
Thank you, Emily. And every year, IMPD hosts the Be Like Bree Challenge, where the community can sign up to do a host of physical activities like running, doing push-ups, and sit-ups.
Tonight at 5, one person is dead after a shooting in Kokomo. Investigators tell us the victim, 37-year-old Henry Clayton, was showing a gun to a 31-year-old man around 7:30 last night. Now, at some point, police say the other man had the gun, but did not think it was loaded when they say he pointed it at Clayton and pulled the trigger. Clayton died at a hospital here in Indianapolis. The other man is now under arrest, accused of criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon and involuntary manslaughter.
Tonight marks 1 week until the start of the long-awaited Delphi murders trial.
Next week, the suspect accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German will get his day in court. We want to help you get up to speed on this big case with the major moments that have taken place since the girls were killed back in 2017. You can check out our Delphi special. It airs tonight at 7 o'clock over on WTHR+.
And you can download WTHR Plus for free on Amazon, Fire Stick, and Roku. Again, that special, our Delphi special, airs tonight at 7 on WTHR Plus.
Still to come on this Friday night, trapped 1,000 feet below ground.
The question still lingering after a group of tourists were stuck in a mine. That's ahead at 5:30. First at 5, back in the air.
We've got the airports reopening after Hurricane Milton shut them down. Plus, the danger isn't over yet.
The rescues they're making across Florida and why they fear there will soon be even more. Next.